I know how to grow a retail business. Like
Right.
I got that. I can do that. So when social equity opened up, I said, wait a minute. So I can open up a store and I could be, be involved in cannabis in the
Right.
community and give back and get my people's jobs. Wait a minute, I can do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So God just works. He
Yeah.
just works, and I'm just here. I can't plan and say what I want to be when people, oh, what did you
It's
want?
real
I
talk,
don't know. I don't know. I just want to be successful, and I just want to be able to serve my community and serve God.
What's up with y'all out there? This is the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
Yep, and stay smoking with your favorite smoking partner, Serpo.
And your professional hype woman, C-Pop. What's poppin', y'all? Today, we do have a special guest on our couch today. Help me welcome culture, community, and cannabis advocate, dispensary owner, and boss lady, Miss Asia.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Guys, I'm well. I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm
That's
alive.
right.
God is good.
That's right.
That's right.
All the time.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
So look, before we get into the show, we always do the best way to smoke tip. And when we have a guest, we ask the guest, get the people your best way to smoke tip.
Whew, man, life be life, and I got a whole lot of tips. But I think right now that what's pertinent to me in my life right now is being authentic. Like, you know what I mean? Moving through this world, who you are. Social media has a way of putting sort of a screen on a lot of people.
Right.
And just society, you got to show up sometimes as well, they want you to sometimes show up as who you are not. But the real way to enroll people into you and your story, your brand, whatever it may be, is to be authentic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just move through life,
That's right.
you.
I could dig that
Amen to that.
for sure.
Yeah, man, all the way. I would just say, who determines that authenticity? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can be going a certain route in life. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, this is the authentic person of who you are, whatever it may be. But in reality, you get to doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, what's cracking?
Well, can't nobody tell you who you are. You are authentic. Showing up authentic is the feeling that you get from yourself. You know what I'm
Showing
saying?
up
Like,
feeling good.
yeah.
Not about what they think.
It's not about
Yeah.
what they think. How you know if I'm showing up me or
Right.
somebody else.
Right.
Right.
And then I think it goes along the lines of just each time you see this person, who are they? Are they the same person every time you see them? You know what I mean? Like, or is it one day you see them and they giving that voice? You know how some people
Right.
got to put that voice on to be heard or
Right,
feel like they can't be heard because I mean because like for example, I come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? And I can just say this from experience because I used to feel like I used to have to show up to these city council meetings and these meetings and be like, my name is Asia Allen, and I can put it on.
Right.
But it's like people don't want that. They love our culture. They love who we
Ain't
are.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? They love my little passion and my little ghetto. So I'm gonna
Right.
show up who I am.
Every time.
That's
Every
right.
time.
Why, yeah.
Authenticity, baby.
Yep.
That's
So on that note, tell us where you grew up at.
Yeah. I'm born and raised Los Angeles, California.
That's
My
right.
father is from Oakland, California. So, I got the Bay blood in me.
Okay.
Baby,
But
LA.
Bay to LA. But Crenshaw and King,
Okay.
the jungles, that's where my family, we all grew up over there. And Lamert Park, Crenshaw
Right.
is my stomping grounds, 80s baby.
For the people
That's
that, 80s baby all day.
All
for
day.
sure, you know what I mean?
Hell
For the
yeah.
people that don't know what it was like growing up, Crenshaw, King, LA area, tell them something about your experience growing up over
Woo. So first of all, it was oversaturated with crack cocaine in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I
Mhm.
was born a crack baby.
there. Yeah.
Unfortunately, 84.
80s, baby.
And my mom is clean and sober today, so that's
right,
amazing and
moms.
God is good.
Yep.
But we slept on the floor, no sheets. We me and my siblings and my cousins, we saw a lot, decapitated people in my alleys. My folks going to jail, for trying to feed their families.
Right.
Um, Gang violence, Crenshaw and King is the jungles,
Yep.
and it's
Mhm.
bloods
All
over
day.
there.
Yep.
But it's a special kind of bloods because, and I'm not on either side of the spectrum. My
Right.
color is green.
Man, ain't
Just
no
so we're
question.
clear.
Red and blue make green, though.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. So that's my color, But it was a special part of the neighborhood because it was almost like people call it the projects for whatever reason. I don't consider it a project, but it's one way in, one way out.
Right.
So you had to be careful coming over there, and not
Right.
knowing, But I seen a lot of people from over there that just never made it out. They
Yeah.
comfortable, they stagnated over there, and unfortunately, me being from there, I want to be the example of, we can get out, we can do what we got to
Sure.
do, and be, a leader in whatever industry, we passionate about. But yeah, it was tough, man. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I am who I am. My mom is a strong Black single mother with two beautiful daughters, and I'm an entrepreneur and an owner. My sister is on her way to getting her RN degree, and
That's right.
we doing our thing. So I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Right.
Man,
That's
I
right.
love it.
And it shows that coming from the hood, from these communities, inner city, that you can elevate still. It don't stop
Absolutely.
nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. It don't stop nothing. It just is all about you and your upbringing. I feel like my mom wasn't although she was on drugs, she was a functional addict.
Right.
And a lot of people weren't blessed with a functional addict. She could still go to work and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean we didn't feel it. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? At home, she still got the bills paid, but we still felt it.
Mhm.
So
Lows be low, man.
the lows be low. The lows be low.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that, though. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh.
Me, I'm on the other side. I'm in Watts. You know what I'm saying? In
Mhm.
projects. The stuff I seen, it's similar. Everything is similar. We just on the other side of what? The 110 or something?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know what I'm saying? None of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it made me who I am. It made my smile. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm like
you appreciate stuff more, the
Hell
good
yeah.
things. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. You come from nothing. When you get a little something, you appreciate it. And you
Ain't
can
no
tell
question.
those who don't.
Man,
Yep.
just fumble it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time.
When would you say your your love for cannabis started?
Whew,
junior high.
you know it. You know
Sound
it.
about right.
I started smoking when I was like 12. I'm not gonna lie. My first real time getting high was actually in Oakland though, with my brothers. And they had the bomb.
Right.
They ain't really smoke no stress.
Right.
They had Bammer and Chronic.
Right. The chronic.
Yeah,
Or the
Doja.
AZ or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Man, listen, we had a little dime of some shit. Boy, blew my wig back. And ever
Nice.
since, I just it made me happy. It gave me a happy feeling that we all, know
Right.
and are familiar with. But when I got home, I'm like, damn, that was cool, but I was trying to escape more
Right.
than anything because my mom was abusing drugs. I'm growing up in a crazy neighborhood, but I still got to go to school and act like everything is cool. Everybody got the Jordans, I don't.
Yeah.
All certain little stuff. So that was like almost my escape. You know what I'm saying? But I also saw what drugs did, heavy drugs did to all my family, not just my mom. So I made sure that I didn't indulge in anything like too crazy. We all had our little, whatever. But for the most part, I just was like, weed is cool. I'm gonna
Stick with that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once I got to high school, and the pressure really started to, because at 10 my mom had my sister, so now she's working, but now I got to look out for her too. I had to really step into a role of not really a mom but a big sister, you know what I mean? And I wanted to, like, my sister's like my baby. I don't have no kids, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to always lead by example for her and be a strong example of what a woman can be. So when she came around, it almost became like stress. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I got to make sure my mama's straight. I got to make sure my sister's straight.
It is like a second mom role, though.
Hell yeah.
It
So,
is.
and then it became my decompression tool. I kind of was like, okay, boom, I can smoke and I can relax, So cannabis was just different things for me in different waves of my life.
It was
You know what I mean?
always there to
It was
help.
always there to
Yeah.
help kind of guide me through, whatever trouble. So I fucked with it and I stick with it. And I feel like if I wasn't indulging in cannabis, then I'd probably be on pharmaceuticals or something like that. Because I do suffer from PTSD and anxiety from growing up.
We all do out the
You know what I
hood.
mean?
Hell
Out the
yeah.
hood.
Sure.
And some people don't want to admit it, and that's cool. But I'm gonna admit it.
Yep.
To this day, I got that thing on me.
Yep.
Mm.
And I don't care. I don't
Real.
care. I'd rather be caught with it than without it.
Without it.
Officer,
Real talk.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's real talk. You just made a nigga smile inside.
Man, real life.
That's
I mean,
real
because
talk,
what you
though.
gonna do? I've been through a lot. I don't thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I done been through a
Gotta
lot.
be ready.
I believe all my sisters should roll like that.
As
like
we-
point blank
yeah.
period. I ain't
Yep.
gonna even front.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because one, I own a dispensary, and people think we just walk around with either a gang of weed or a gang of money. It's not true. I'm here
Right.
to let you know it's not that.
Mm.
Right.
We out here struggling just like anybody else. The cannabis industry is not what it was, especially the legal industry. It's
Right.
not. We not trapping. We got to pay taxes.
Taxes.
You know what I mean?
So on that note, let me ask you this: What inspired you to open a dispensary and go that route?
I opened up a dispensary when social equity. I got involved with the social equity program in 2018.
Okay.
Before that, I had been in retail, in luxury retail, for like 10 years. I started out at Michael Kors as just a sales associate, and then I got recruited with Fast Retailing, which they own Theory, Helmut Lang, a bunch of other
Right.
brands, Gap, Uniqlo. So I became a retail regional manager for the West Coast
Okay.
after so long, and so I know how to grow a retail business. Like
Right.
I got that. I can do that. So when social equity opened up, I said, wait a minute. So I can open up a store, and I could be be involved in cannabis and the
Right.
community and give back and give my people's jobs. Wait a minute, I can do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So social equity was like, it seemed like a godsend. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'm very firm believer of being a vessel in God, of God, and just being faithful and just walking in your purpose. You know what I mean? I don't really try to, plan my life. I still to this day, I was in nursing before retail,
Right.
and a quick story, my ex ended up getting shot in the face, basically in front of my house. They tried to rob and kidnap and all
Yeah.
that. And that's why I say I got PTSD. So I was in nursing school when that happened. And so I had to, change my whole life.
Yeah.
We had to move and everything because we was being watched and all this. It was just a horrible, horrible situation,
Right.
So I got into retail, and that's what. But that's what I mean. Like, I was in nursing school. This happened, and then now I own a cannabis store.
Right.
Right. Without that happening, I would have never been in retail. I would have still been a nurse. So that's what I mean by God just works.
Yeah.
He just works, and I'm just here. I can't plan and say what I want to be when people, oh, what did you want?
It's real
I
talk,
don't know.
though.
I don't know. I just want to be successful, and I just want to be able
sure.
to serve my community and serve God.
Sure.
However it may come.
However it works.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's how I got involved in cannabis and social equity and all those things.
Right.
You just felt like it was almost like a calling for you.
Yeah,
This is where I
absolutely.
need
You
to
said it
be.
perfect. Yep. The calling.
So as a woman in the industry, what are some hurdles that you had to face, and how'd you overcome them?
As a woman, well, majority of the industries of the world are dominated by men. So, cannabis, it being a very unfamiliar territory, men want to come and they want to take charge, and they want to say we got the answers and we doing this and we doing that, which is fine. I don't mind following if
Right.
you're a good leader.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that just feel like I can't listen or take constructive criticism. So if you're gonna lead, I'll follow. And I've followed some important men in this industry that have led me to the water and let me drown, unfortunately. And I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or if they were just being selfless or whatever. I can't really say. But I do know that every partner that I've had in this industry has pretty much led me to destruction.
Mm.
And as a woman, as a strong Black woman, moving through this world, I had to take my power back. And I'm not partnering with anybody else. I've been 64 and Hope. I've been off the charts.
Right.
I was gonna be Ball Family Farms,
Right.
but I'm Dope Sugar.
That's
My
right.
brand.
That's
My
right.
brand that I built,
Dope
me and
Sugar.
my
That's
partner,
right.
Robin, from the ground up, my doggy dog, my cellmate. You know, we've been in this since 2018 by ourselves, just me and her. We went through the same social equity program together. And it's been tough.
Yeah.
Like they've been dragging us by the root of our
Yeah.
heads, you know,
Right.
kicking and screaming because this is again a new industry that we didn't know nothing about, and neither did they.
Right.
So we all
So
trying to
learn
figure
at
it
the
out.
same time.
Yeah, we
yeah.
trying to
Everybody
figure it
learning at
out.
the same time.
On the realm of the equity programs, like initially when y'all got into it, was it better than what it is now?
No,
Mm.
all of it. It's been a nightmare from the day it started,
Right.
and I think the reason why I'm in it because I still have hope.
Okay.
I still have the hope that it can work. I know it can work.
But with the social equity program?
The social equity program.
Right.
What are some of the struggles that, just to name a few? Let's dive right into it.
Well, for one, you know, you got predatory investors. You know, they see Black people, they see social equity licensees and operators, and they say, okay, do they really know what they're doing? They kind of prey on us because again, it's an industry that we really didn't know anything about. Now we
Right.
do, you know, but before, you know, in order to qualify for social equity, you had to make under $50,000 a year. What person making under 50K a year knows how to stand up a competitive business?
Right.
So you have to partner with investors. You need some
Right.
funding. There is no funding. It's not federally legal. So if I only make 50K a year, how am I stand up a dispensary? And I'm
Right.
gonna pay all your fees and all the things in order to even the application fee was 25K. How am I gonna do that?
How's that gonna
I
happen?
need somebody.
Right.
And these are the predatory investors. They said they need us. They need us. So let's go and let's go grab them up. And that's what they did. They scooped us up.
So the predatory investors, like kind of break that down a little bit more. Just give an example of like what they do.
Absolutely. Let's say, you know, boom, you see, I can use me for example. I was, you know, exiting one partnership, you know, just, you know, because it just wasn't working out. You know,
Right.
they actually broke it off with me and they said, listen, we ain't gonna be able to do this anymore. We're actually going bankrupt. Um, you know, figure it out on your own. But the reason why, I mean, which is cool. Thank
Right.
you. You know
At
what I
least
mean?
they said
Because
something. Yeah.
at least it's not only that, but they funded me. So, but
Okay.
and the fact that you breached your contract now, I don't got to pay you back all your funding. You know what I mean? So that's cool. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank
Right.
you. I'm opened up. But where they played me at was when they were standing up the business. They kept me shut out of it. So when you exit now, I don't know what to do.
Mm.
I literally don't know what to do. I don't know. All I know is I got to pay rent. I got to pay my peoples. You know, the standard things, right?
Basic stuff.
Yeah.
But what about the cannabis regulations and all the different things that really needed diving into? They were just saying, listen, focus on the retail part. We'll circle back to everything else. But then they
Yeah.
jetted on me before we could circle back to everything else,
Mm.
right? So that's one thing that happened. But I don't want to say that it was predatory
Right.
necessarily. I just think they didn't know what they were doing,
Right.
and then they had to
I
back
think
out
you're
of
giving
it.
them grace. I think, you know what I'm saying, they was predatory.
Yeah, they were, but they also didn't know what they were doing. I think they did have good intentions, but when what made them predatory is when they knew what was happening, they weren't honest with us. They backed out and they just left us instead of saying, "Listen, I don't know if this ain't gonna work for us, and I don't know if it's gonna work for y'all either." They said, "No, you guys can do it.
Yeah.
Y'all can do it." If I would have knew what I knew now, I would have shut it down then.
See, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, if they would have let you in on the side to know certain rules, certain
Yeah.
regulations and stuff like that, who knows, you know what I'm saying, what you could have brought to the table.
No, you're
right then and
absolutely
there.
right.
They're worried about
You know what I'm saying?
saving
So by
themselves at that
shutting you
point.
out in that aspect, be like, no, we got this. They probably learned something from the retail spot of it
Yeah.
and
No,
got
you're
on.
right.
From
You're
you,
right.
yeah.
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
right.
Were there lawyers involved?
Yeah, there were lawyers involved. The city was involved. You know, in order for the whole social equity program, the Department of Cannabis regulations is is supposed to advocate for us. So our operating agreements, our management agreements all went through DCR. And
Right.
you know, they would send them back to us and say, "Hey, I don't know about this. I don't know about this." And because how are we going to afford lawyers then? How are we
Right.
going to afford attorneys? Yeah, they have attorneys, but what
Yeah.
about us?
Right.
So DCR said we're going to put something in place, pro bono lawyers and certain things to where, but unfortunately, you know, like one of the things that they weren't paying attention was the predatory landlords. You know, and I'm gonna circle back to I'm gonna circle back real quick before we
Yeah.
go to the predatory landlords to the predatory partnerships. So I'm back. I'm cut off
Right.
from them, right? But I'm desperate because
You want to
it's
keep your
6 months
baby going.
in. I'm very new to a lot of this, so I get a an offer from a brand that's well established. They got 15 stores and they look like they doing it right. You
Right.
know, I'm looking at numbers, I'm looking at P&L, everything looks good. They profitable. Okay.
Yeah.
They're predatory because they're finding desperate social equity licensees that are getting either kicked out or breaking off partnerships, and they are partnering with them and they're filling up. They're saying, "This is what you're doing wrong. You need more product. You need more of this and you need that." So they're filling up our stores with product.
Mm.
But they're telling the brands to overcharge us because they're getting kickbacks.
Mm.
So they eating on the back, and they say, "Oh yeah, this invoice is, let's say, $2,000," but really they gonna get half of that on the back end, and we don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
So you eating off of us,
Snake motherfuckers.
but we
Yeah.
still got to pay taxes on this $2,000 invoice. So and then 4 months later they like, "Oh well, this ain't working. We got to go."
Yeah, the legal cannabis, like they make it so tough, and it's like you'd be surprised how well, I'm sure you're not, but like how ruthless it is. 'Cause
Girl.
it's like it's the people who shake your hand, who say hello, who smile at you, let me help you.
Yep.
Those are the ones you got to look out for. And I feel like in the hood, it's just like you know who your enemy is. If not, like you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
You're so right.
It's so much different in legal cannabis. They really are just like, oh, like really smile in your face. And that was one thing I despised about being in legal
You're
cannabis.
so
I was just
right.
like, I was the one to crash out, and my colleagues would be like, "What are you doing?"
Girl.
Like, no, you can't. I'm like, who said I can't? I don't know. If they're showing you who
Yeah.
you are,
Mhm.
put you on the fence, push that bitch over.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Like, no, it's politics.
Yeah. And they see what you're going through and they feeding off of that. I
Yeah.
know you've been through this and I would never do that to you. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, whoo. So ultimately, you know, that ended up not working. And I don't, you know, I was the one who found out about, like, mind you, it's about 5 or 6 social equity, licensees that were partnered with this same brand.
Mm.
When I found out, I'm the one that was like, "Hey, we need to talk. All of
Yeah.
us. Let's jump on a call right now." And everybody was
Math
like,
ain't math.
"What?"
Yeah.
And then we all was like,
Leave it
So
alone.
now all of us are no longer partnered with this particular brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But they still out here doing it to the ones that don't know any better.
Well, shout
Right.
out to you for
Dirty motherfucker.
paving that way and
Oh,
being
yeah.
like, let's get
No
on
doubt.
this call. We airing some shit out.
No doubt. Because I could have just held it to myself and been like,
Right.
whatever. But I'm just like, why would I do that? I would want somebody to let me know.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Stunned.
With stuff like that, as far as like your team, you know what I'm saying? Like what's some things that you do different, like with your team, to keep everything straight in the flow?
Like at the store, my team.
Yeah.
I'm authentic at work. I don't show up like everything is all good. You know what I'm saying? We late on rent. My assistant and my management team, we know what's up and we pushing. Morale is, I think, the hugest thing for me. Like everybody that's with me, been there with me since 2021. Like a couple people done fell off, but my team, they hold me down. Like I'm just honest with them about everything. They know about the taxes. They know about the 2, almost 3 times market price rent that we have to pay every single month. They know about the payroll. They have access to my bank account. It's us.
Right.
I let them know when you out in the streets and you talking about dope sugar, you say this is my store because this is your store just as much as it's mine. Without y'all, I can't move.
That's right.
I can't move. So again, it's just being authentic, not showing up like, oh, everything is okay and blah, 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 blah,
shit.
blah. And then you just one day got to sit down with your team like, hey, we got to close. And they like, wait a minute, what? I thought everything was straight. You know, so I'm honest. I'm straightforward with my team. They can come and ask me for anything, and I let them know. Don't ever steal from me. You better off asking for it, because if you steal 1/8 up out of here, you
Out of
going to
there.
jail.
Yeah.
And it ain't just
So,
about the eighth; it's about playing in my face.
yeah,
Man.
Principle,
Man.
principalities
Don't-
around this
man.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Right.
Shit.
And I asked that because it's like I feel that to be true. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not sure if I met like every like person of the team, but me going through the shop,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The hospitality that's there, you know what I'm saying? The welcome that's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The like you ask a question, the information that's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It just lets me know that like everything you're saying is true. I'm transparent with you. You know what I'm saying? This is a meeting, or we got this, we got that.
You can tell it's a loyal
with you, wham,
team.
wham. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that inside the store.
I'm glad.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Thank you. That's what we try to do. But we all family for real.
mhm.
Like we all kick it, outside of work, too. And that's, I think in corporate America, they say you're not supposed to do that. Don't follow your employees on social media, and don't let them in, and don't hang out with them. You crossing blurred lines, but it's like, no,
We in the shits together.
we are out,
Yeah.
and I want to
Yeah.
know who you are outside of this. And I want you to know who I'm a real person, just like everybody else.
Right.
We are real.
I'm real.
We
On
all
the real.
struggling, we all going through it. So do it together.
Look, let's talk about these janky ass the landlords and stuff
Oh,
like that,
yes.
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
how are they being predatory?
So you got to remember, in 2018, when the social equity program was announced, you had 800 applicants, right? I mean, they only awarded 100 licenses, right? So you got 800 people out in the world looking for commercial real estate to open up what they think will, because I mean, I don't know if people know this, but in order to even qualify for social equity, you had to have real estate in place already. Whether you you couldn't operate, obviously you're not licensed.
Right.
So you had to have, so you already had to been paying rent on a real estate, again, making
Pay attention.
$50,000 a year, right? You had to have a commercial real estate lease in place already. Okay. So now they scrambling. Oh, we need property. We need property. Everybody's looking for property. Landlords get a whiff. They, because it's 5 and 6 people coming to them a week saying, hey, we need cannabis property. So they look at it as a money grab. Oh,
Right.
well, this person's offered me 10, this person offered me 12. I'm 12. I'm going to take, the
highest number.
highest.
Yeah.
15, right.
So what should be 12.5, I'm paying 22 for. And my landlord is like, listen, because I tell her, listen, that this is almost triple market. She's like, well, that's the reason why I got into cannabis, because y'all was paying triple market, right? But
Right.
again, yeah, I ran stores, but I wasn't in charge of acquiring the property where the stores were set up.
Right.
So I'm trusting my partners,
Yeah.
right, who
Yes.
set me up to get me in a lease that's sustainable, right?
Right.
So when I'm looking at this sublease, because I'm subleasing from my partner, because that's the way they structured it,
Right.
I'm like, damn, this is some crazy. Oh, no, don't worry about it. We'll be making this 4 times over. Not happened. Ain't never happened. Since the day we opened the doors, it never happened. And what people also got to realize, when I opened my doors, I was in 2.5 million in debt. Me. Little old me, 2.5 million. Because again, we had to have this real estate in place. COVID happened.
Yeah.
The department shut down
Yeah.
for a year and a half. You think they said,
Damn.
y'all can stop paying rent? Oh, no.
Yeah,
I had
didn't
to
know
continue.
Yeah, I
Continue.
low-key forgot about the COVID time and you started 2018.
We had to still pay rent all through COVID to keep our licenses
Yeah.
and keep our applications active.
Right. Was it booming at that time as far as
During COVID?
Yeah, during
we
the COVID.
wasn't open. None of the social equity stores were open
Oh
during
yeah, because
COVID.
that was back then. Right,
Yeah,
right.
no.
I'm thinking,
We didn't start. Kika was the first to open. Kika opened in, I think, the summer 2021. I opened in September. So I was
Okay.
the second open.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, you know what I'm saying? By you going and getting everything legit, you know what I'm saying? And at this time, the black market was open.
Busting.
You know what I'm saying? Like
All
you
the time.
going through all these hurdles, you know what I'm saying? This smacking you in the face, like I still gotta pay you motherfuckers rent. Look what the fuck going on. How did that make you feel, you know what I'm saying, as a straight up business owner?
slap in the fucking face, front and back.
Mm.
It was a slap in the face because again, like, and this is what I tell these the local officials when we go to these city council meetings. I'm like, I could be out here black marketing too, but I'm doing this.
Right.
I'm trying to do this the right way.
Yeah, that's commendable.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to do this the right way, and y'all just continue to slap us in the face, man. It feels like I'm being raped.
Mm.
It's a horrible feeling to go to sleep every single night and know that I could be in the streets making 10 times what I make. You know what I mean? And still doing what I got to do. You know, I could still be selling weed on the streets and still employing my peoples. You know, it's not, you know, because again, like that's another piece to this. You know, I want to be a community activist. I want to make sure that people with felonies got access to jobs because that's a part of the social equity program. In order, you know, you have to have a certain percentage of black people, Hispanic, all the different things. It was a thing, right? Do you think they're coming around and checking these these locations where these big corporations have bought out the social equity owner and now they're just employing all their people? You think they coming and making sure that they following those guidelines? No,
it's just a money grab. Yeah.
Not one person has come in and said, now let me see like all the different things that they, you know, are checking for. Not once. And I'm going on 4 years being open.
Yeah.
Not once are they coming to check for all the things that this social justice piece that was wrote in the legislate, and you know, and it's not there.
Right. Do you think being federally legalized would change the scope of everything and make it better?
Listen, I mean, we all been having the hope of federal legalization being the great black hope, as I like to say. I don't play the great white hope.
Right.
But honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I'm really, I can't say because all of them got so many ulterior motives and it's such a money grab for them. I really don't know. They can come in and do us worse than the city.
That's what I think. I've been saying this for years though. I feel like bigger business will kind of like drown out the smaller businesses once it's federally legalized.
Oh no, you spot on with that. It's like Big Pharma. They already gearing up for it. And that's the thing. Little bitty dope sugar in my little 2 locations, we're not gonna make it then. And that's what these predatory investors, to go back to them, that's what they're gearing up for too. That was the original plan, right? We want to buy up all the different ones, let's say 10 stores, and then when legalization comes, let's sell all of them to this big corporation and let's just get out. But that's not why we got into it, because then we're giving away our culture. Then it's not, cannabis won't be culture.
It's not gonna be the same.
It won't be.
Yeah.
Me on the other hand, I'm with the great black hope. You know what I'm saying? Like when they be talking about like they big pharma, which is true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's right there.
It's inevitable.
But it's like if what I be saying, if we stay communitized, you know what I'm saying, and keep supporting our own, don't support the big pharma, we're a big community.
We could
make it.
We could.
You know what I'm saying?
We absolutely could.
But that's a what from the great black hope.
Nah, but you're so right. You got so many, like, I don't even want to say like entertainers and rappers and all this, like, cause fuck that. Political figures that are black. I'm talking about real wealthy black people that can help. You know what I mean? And help us recycle these black dollars. Because the thing about it is, Jewish people and their community, they invest in each other. And that's why they will forever be who they are.
No question.
Like, we got to take some notes. Because it's possible. Because it's money out there.
Man.
That's like, that's literally how like Cali was built too. Like, you know, when everyone started migrating over here, like they were cutting them off from resources. So people started building their own communities. Like, okay, you're going to cut me off? Bet. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own school since I can't be in your schools. I'm going to build my own hospital since I can't use your, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that it can't be done.
Yeah.
Like Black Wall Street back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other one that's under Lake Lanier, that little town.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of little black communities that had no choice but to stand up for each other and build their own little, you know, sort of collective or, you know, whatever they want to call it. But they got a great job of burying them. You know what I mean? But I think the power that we have today, You know, I think we got a fighting chance if we stick together, but it's a crab in a bucket mentality, you know.
And then like as far as like dealing with what you've been dealing with since you've been in business and going to these city council meetings and stuff like that, do you see any hope in going out there and voicing your opinion?
I do. You know, for the next round of social equity applications, because it's another round about to open up
Right.
in this year. This month actually, if I'm not mistaken. So for one, you know, just being a voice of hope for them, because even if I don't make it, somebody's got to structure this to where it works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do it. And just sitting in the meetings, and they are listening. Kika and Evelyn and Brandon, they've been in the fight for a long time, right? I'm low key just entering the fight this past year.
Right.
So I've been watching what they've been doing, you know, and they're way more versed in this because I'm not a political chick.
Right.
I'm just not. You know, I was forced almost into this to be what do you say, like literate in all of this. Like you gotta be on top of it or you'll drown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think they're hearing us though.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, because I think what our ultimate thing is, like, listen, even if we don't make it, let's take our business out of it, right? Let me take my shop out of it. This becomes a public safety issue, because if all the social equity stores shut down, because they're majority of them are in South Central.
Right.
Yeah, me and Robin are towards the west a little bit, but you got Go Global on Central. You got Cadre, where he at? On Broadway, I believe. Kika on Crenshaw. Josephine and Billy's on King. That's all South Central. If we all shut down, you pushing our peoples back into the trap shops with untested weed. It's fentanyl in the streets. This is now a public safety issue.
Yeah, we've been on that too, heavy too, as far as all that, the fentanyl and the pesticide, even the pesticide.
All that. You are driving our community back into where they can be robbed in these trap shops. The police act like they're gonna kick down the door, and now you giving them charges.
Right.
It's another war on drugs.
Right.
You know, because they gonna want their money.
Yeah. And it's not even a drug. You know what I'm saying? On the real.
Not. It's really not. It's not a drug. It's a plant. It's a healing plant.
Right.
My store is literally right by Kaiser. You know how many people come to me and like, I'm just tired of being sleepy and drowsy all day.
Right.
What can I do, you know, for pain? I'm like, man, you don't gotta try some balms, some tinctures. You don't gotta even smoke.
Yep, that's a fact.
It's levels to this shit, man.
Levels.
Gang of
Man. Look, a quick question, like, cause you said it's another round of social equity coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't agree with social equity program.
Yeah.
I just feel as if like it's just a bell hung over your head. You know what I'm saying? You try to progress, it's gonna be like, oh, let me move this a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know
That's
what
it's
I'm
been.
saying? That's just my opinion.
Oh, you're right. That's what
you know
it's
what I'm
been.
saying? But for those coming in, you know what I'm saying, and they actually want to take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What advice would you give them to like look into, prepare for, and how to present?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we've made crazy strides in this last 3 years when it comes to social equity, right? So there's no more predatory landlords. That's not a thing anymore.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So if you can get in some commercial real estate that's actually market price, you're fine. You're good. You control your payroll. You control your buying power. You partner up with like people. If you are a black owned business, partner with other black owned business and use your power. Say, listen, all 5 of us, let's come together, create a name for ourselves, and then boom, we say, listen, brands, if you want to be in all 5 of our stores, we need better pricing than who you give in all these other stores. You got to use your buying power. You have to use your power.
Right.
You know, even if it's just you, band with other people like you. Control your controllables. Don't let nobody come in and do nothing for you. But if you got to be passionate about this and you got to work, you got to make sure you are staying abreast to all the laws and the changes and all the things that are going on. You can't just move throughout this industry and not stay educated, because it's just not
Changing
that.
all the time.
It's changing all the time. Probably last year I would have probably told a new social equity applicant to turn away. Turn away, don't look, don't even, but we are working hard. We really are. And I feel like with the work that we're doing and trying to reshape the tax structure, trying to get tax amnesty for social equity licensees, like they have to treat us like the protected class that we are.
Right.
These are our reparations.
Facts.
You know, so you guys have
Let
to
us in.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah. And you guys made a promise to us. And at the end of the day, if that promise is not upkept, then guess what? It now becomes a deeper issue where we can possibly have a class action suit. And once y'all start having to pay money, because again, y'all not enforcing any enforcement of the illegal shops and shutting them down.
Right.
But there's fund. Our tax dollars were set aside for enforcement. So what we doing with that money?
Right.
What we doing with that money?
Mm-hmm.
And once y'all have to start bleeding money, then y'all gonna start opening your eyes and figuring out what do we got to do to make sure we ain't keep getting sued and all this and that. Because there are certain things put in place, like for instance, a landlord of a illegal shop has the right, or we have the right, the city has the right to charge that landlord $20,000 each day to shut the shop down, but they don't care. Nobody's doing anything. That could be y'all money right there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
$20 billion.
Yeah.
I think 25 billion cannabis gave in tax revenue last year. And we still gotta fight with all the illegal shops, with all this weed, with all this, you know, shit in it.
I think every city should have legal shops. Like Compton. Compton is not allowed to have legal shops though, but it shops all through the city.
It
though.
is, yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
is?
Yeah, it shops all through the city.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so and it's a trip though. They do get shut down, but then they be back up in about a
Pop right
month
back
though,
up.
like in a couple months,
Pop right back up.
fast and making a killing.
Oh,
That's why I believe the black market will never. It's it's sad to say, and we want to we want to be on a legal level, but the black market, that shit ain't gonna never.
Man.
It's not gonna never go away as long as it's like this.
Well, the police chief told us they haven't been enforcing anything against the illegal shops since legalization.
I believe it.
They just haven't.
They getting their cut. That's probably why.
Exactly.
Still a gray area.
Why
So
would they?
yeah, and that's why I believe it's not being pushed to be federally legalized, decriminalized, well, however they're gonna do it. It's not being pushed to get there fast enough because bigger businesses are already making money though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They already making money in this gray area. So it's like, why hurry up and get there when I'm already making a killing?
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I want to just rewind just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to give you, like the credit, where credit is due, and others like you. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where we come from, you win this fight where everything look like, man, I can just go on and I can make me all the money I want to. You know what I'm saying? But you standing up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm finna do it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get hit with this, get hit with that, but we're going to stand up. I just want to commend you on that.
That's right.
Thank you so
You know
much.
what I'm saying?
Don't make
'Cause
me
it's letting
cry.
us all
It's here
know.
I keep
today.
going, girl.
No, for real
Keep
though, because it's
going.
like, man, where we come from, it's possible. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's easy to do that.
It is.
Very easy.
It's
But it's
easy.
hard to stick right here, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. I
Get it
appreciate
done.
that so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. It's easy to just open up shop and bust out some pounds, because I mean I got the connections now for sure. If I
Man,
didn't,
that
never.
ain't no question.
But I got people looking at me. I got my little sister looking at me. I got my
And
niece
that
looking at
counts.
me. I got the little girls who grew up on my street looking at me. And I don't want them to be like, oh yeah, that's just another
Trapper, whatever.
Yeah.
trapper.
That's
man.
inspiration at its highest form.
Right, right.
I want to show them that, you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to, even build a brand in an industry that is brand new and is broken. You know what I mean? You can stand through anything as long as you're passionate and you can withstand, you know, the trials and tribulations. You can do anything. Just be
Facts.
strong. Just be strong. Pray.
Facts.
Keep God
Facts.
first.
That's right.
And you got this.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? Let's change the energy just a little bit. What would you say is?
Cause I'm finna cry.
No, keep
But
going.
sugar deal.
Keep
But
going.
sugar deal.
I'm so emotional these days
Well,
because
it's hard. It's
because
like,
it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller
I'm
coaster.
angry half the time, and then I get home and I try to be peaceful because that's like another piece of me. I try to be so peaceful, So I'm like always on an emotional roller coaster, and I never really get to cleanse, and cry and do the things. So when I sit and do things like this, or even at the city council meetings, and I'm sitting there I'm like, y'all did this and this and that, and y'all promised us, just
Let it
flowing.
out.
Yeah.
They
Let it
just
out.
start
because
flowing.
you don't
Gotta get it
like
out.
you're not even just being strong for yourself. You're being strong for your team.
Yeah.
Your business, your pockets, your livelihood. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
for what you stand for, everything. So like it's hard to like you're literally trying to survive. You know what
Man.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just keep going, because you're doing your thing and you got people looking up at you. And we are proud of you.
Thank you.
What is one of the most like rewarding things though you would say about owning a shop in LA?
Yeah, my team, man. My team. I love them. Anytime anybody ever asks me about what's the best thing about being a business owner or just life in general right now, it'd be my team, man.
That's
show up.
right.
They show up every day ready to hit the ground running like what's happening.
Yeah.
And I love that for them because even if, again, I close my doors tomorrow, all of them got some crazy experience and can go run the next shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And go, this industry is crazy. They can go and do anything now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they all super duper duper passionate about cannabis, and I love how they show up every single day. I love how they inspire me and motivate me every day. Because the one thing I do not want to do is have to come in here and tell my team, "Hey, we got to shut down."
Yeah.
That's taking 10 jobs from 10 families,
Right.
not just 10 people. That's 10 families.
Families. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my team
Man.
every single day is what gets me out of bed.
So that's dope. So you do a lot of cross training to where they know,
Oh yeah.
like you just said, they
Oh,
know how to
yeah.
run a business on their own.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh
dope.
yeah.
That's
Tonisha,
what counts.
she gonna be able to go and do anything, buying, inventory, assistant general manager. She gonna bud tend. She can security guard.
Right.
Tonisha can do anything.
Shout out to Nisha. Yeah, and Court too though. Yeah.
Court, she gonna
Yeah.
and Court gotta bring a whole nother aspect. She brings she's the face.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I let her do a lot of my content because she's so bubbly and she's beautiful.
For sure.
And she's good with the customers, and she's
Yep.
got the product knowledge because she's a cannabis connoisseur, and she brings the sexy and the feminine to it. Court is, man, I could go on and on about them.
Right. Hey, look, that reminds me, like when we went to that event that y'all had, what was that, last year?
Yeah.
Last year, like how you say you keep it on you, right? So like when the event was over, I forgot I had it on me. You know what I'm saying? And walked in the store, but just I had to go put in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but you got to keep it on you, though.
Got to.
Security tight in that motherfucker, okay?
Yes.
He did a great job. I don't know his
He did a
name though,
great
but he was
job.
on point though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
We do pom 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 pom.
One thing I do want to say about your shop though, and I'm not even just saying that, I love the aesthetic of the inside. You guys have
Thank
so
you.
many plants.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
so airy when you walk in.
Welcome.
It's so
Fresh.
bright. It's just so like, oh shit. Like, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be here.
It's
makes you-
it feels like home, like
Right.
low-key. That's
Yeah.
how my home feels. I got a lot of plants at home, and I'm a very clean person. I don't
Yeah.
play a bunch of clutter. I don't know if you guys play. If anybody, if any of you guys have ever been to my shop, that it's very clean and
Mhm.
neatly, and because I hate going to shop at places like Ross and you gotta
Right.
dig through stuff and this
Right.
stuff I will walk right out. You lost me. I can't and won't. I'm not doing it. I'm not finna dig through all this stuff. So
Man.
I like it to just feel home and light and airy.
Right.
The windows make it very light, because
Yeah.
again, I come from retail, right? So I have that retail merchandising sort of background. And then I also come from the days where the trap shops where you had to walk in the door with no windows.
Dark.
And then you got to go through the next door and you got to wait there for them to buzz you through. And it just all felt like you was doing something
Man.
wurong. Like I just
Yeah.
felt like,
Yeah.
damn, let me hurry up and get out of
County
here
jail
because I'm
process
locked in
is
here
out.
if anything happened.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel like a luxury retail experience. You walk in, you see,
It gives that
nice
for real.
things, and it just feels good in here.
Yeah.
It does feel
I used to
good.
see them kind of shops. You're like, you gotta go through that door, another metal detector. You're like, what?
The front door is sketchy.
I know.
The front door be sketchy.
It's dark.
It's
It's dark in here. Turn the lights on.
man, another question. How do you educate first-time cannabis users who first visit your shop? I know you said you get a lot of people from Kaiser and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those
So
first-timers.
first-timers, we like to start off with a tour. Kind of show them where everything is. Vapes live here, and just along the tour, you kind of educate. So for example, we walking along the vape wall, and I'm like, do you vape? And they like, oh no, not necessarily. Or yeah, I do. Well, do you like distillate, live resin, live rosin? What do you do? Oh, I don't know what the difference. What is distillate? What? And then you got to educate them real quick. Well, the live rosin is solventless. It's the best way to go.
Yeah.
You gonna smoke vapes? You need to go solventless because we don't want butane in our body. As soon as you say that, oh my goodness, you are automatically enrolling somebody in solventless products now.
Man.
Mhm.
So I think that's the best way for me to educate is a first timer is to just sort of give them a tour and along the way kind of see what grabs their attention and give them a couple 2 or 3 liners real quick and then just listen, engage. Don't do a bunch of talking because they got questions. That's why they're here.
Right.
But we like to use like little anecdotes or not anecdotes, little nicknames like people, indica sativa hybrid. Yeah, I just want some flower. Well, what you trying to feel today? You want to be up? I want
Right.
to be relaxed. Well, I don't really know. And indica, I don't know the difference. In the couch, you gonna relax, boo. Oh, I'll never forget it now.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Right,
I like
in
the
the couch.
indica couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the indica couch. So little things like that, making it fun along the way, and just little
What's the
stuff
sativa
like that.
one?
Sativa diva keeps you
Sativa
up all day.
Right.
We
right.
bouncing around. We sativa divas all day. That's what
Which one you prefer?
I'm a hybrid girl.
Okay.
I like me a nice smooth high, like a creamy something smooth. Like a lemon cherry gelato. I don't like
That's
a heavy,
good.
heavy hit. Like I don't like heavy weed. I don't like coughing and doing all that. I don't like pre-rolls that's infused and all that. I like just regular flour. I don't do no dabbing.
On
Bro,
real.
the infused pre-rolls be hard. I'm like,
Joints are backwoods. Papers are backwoods.
Loose leaf.
Oh, the loose
Oh,
leaf?
yeah.
Okay.
Baby.
I'm a loose
Uh,
leaf girl.
that's
I
right.
need to smoke papers, but it's hard.
I've been on papers for over a year, just straight papers.
See,
That's
look at
right.
you. All right, man. I'm
We got a box for you too, though. You could try some more papers.
you
okay.
go.
I got my best way to smoke grinder.
That's all right.
Puts it together, puts it in use
That's
real
right.
quick.
That's
So
right.
before we wrap up, one more question for you.
Yeah.
How do you balance running a business with personal life and self-care?
Mm.
Come on, boss lady. We got to have balance.
Yes,
as much as
ma'am.
we try to hold it down.
Work-life balance is so important. And I think that's one of the things I try to teach my team too, because we do go so hard.
Right.
I like to kind of lead by that because I'll be there so much and then they'd be like, boss lady, But last year, New Year's, I brought in the New Year's in Africa, right? In
Oh.
Ghana. And it was such an amazing experience. Like I was taught so much. I've seen so much. That traveling is one of my like huge decompression tools because I like to go and see other things and just it sort of reminds me of where I could be and because America is they America. You go to
Right.
other places and it's not the same. You know
Right.
what I mean? And we become spoiled and we become almost just like almost entitled.
Right.
Americans are very frowned upon in other countries. So when I go to these other countries, I like to show that we are humble.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can come from America and not be loud and obnoxious and TikTokers and all this weird shit that they like to do when they go out of the
Right.
country. But I like to travel a lot and I learned to meditate, like really, really meditate. Cause I have been meditating for a
Man.
while, but it's got to be done properly. You know what I mean?
believe
So
that.
I learned a lot over there as far as meditating and just cleansing, every single night, almost just washing your day away.
Mm. That's
And
interesting.
yeah, just traveling mostly, I feel like, and meditating and just kind of regrounding
Yeah.
and spending time with my family is also very important for
That's
me.
dope.
I mean, I try to get my little massages and facials. I do, but I ain't gonna lie, that don't really do nothing for me. Like,
Right.
besides get the knots out from being on the computer all day.
Mm.
Like, I can appreciate that.
Right.
She's like, I
Right.
got to see Earth.
Yeah.
I gotta get out there.
Exactly. I like to
feel that.
hike and all that. So yeah.
That's what's up. So tell everybody where Dope Sugar is located,
Yeah.
and tell them, you know what I mean, come pull up.
Yeah, man. So again, my name is Asia, boss lady in the streets. I'm located at 2000 South La Cienega, right on Guthrie and La Cienega near the Kaiser. I own the Dope Sugar. We have another location owned by my cellmate. Her name is Robin. She's at 6803 Melrose Boulevard, Mansfield. And yeah, man, pull up. Come support your peoples, man. We got work to do. Let's recycle these black dollars. Let's make sure that we educating, people that still got stigmas on cannabis. It's a healing plant. It's not a gateway drug anymore, guys. Let's leave that in the 90s. It's not that anymore. There's tinctures. There's solves. There's all kinds of things that the cannabis plant can be used for other than just getting high.
That's right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Let's kill the stigma.
Yep, and you can find your best way to do all that at Dope Sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Zerski.
Shout out
So
to
for
you,
sure.
boss lady.
Yes,
Shout out
Thirsty.
to you.
Yeah. And
Thanks
we,
for having me.
yeah, and we definitely appreciate you pulling up. We gonna want to do this again down the line.
All good.
Yeah, down the
Let
line
me
and stuff
know.
like that yeah, but thank you for pulling up for sure.
Yeah,
That's the
thank
way
you
to
for
smoke.
sure. That's
Yeah,
right.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, this is Big J, and make sure you stay elevated with me.
Yep, and always find the best way to smoke with your favorite smoking partner is Serpo.
And your professional hype woman, C Pop. See you next time, guys.
Yeah. That was dope. That was dope.
That was good.
Yeah.
Thank